What if I told you that reality is nothing like you think it is? What if I told you that the government, specifically the CIA, has known this for decades, but has kept it hidden from the public? In 2003, a shocking set of documents was declassified, revealing that the CIA spent years researching altered states of consciousness, remote viewing, and even the ability to manipulate reality itself. These were not conspiracy theories. These were official, documented government-funded programs, some of which were so powerful that they were kept classified for decades. One of these projects, known as the Gateway Process, was particularly mind-blowing. It suggested that time, space, and even the physical world itself are illusions, and that the human mind has the power to transcend them. Why would the CIA invest millions into researching human consciousness? And more importantly, what did they discover that made them so afraid to let the public know? Stay with me, because today we're diving deep into the biggest secret about reality the CIA has ever hidden and what it means for you. For decades, rumors circulated that the US government was secretly studying psychic abilities, consciousness, and even the nature of reality itself. Most dismissed these as wild conspiracy theories. But in 2003, something shocking happened. The CIA declassified a 28-page report titled Analysis and Assessment of the Gateway Process. This document wasn't just another intelligence report. It was a deep, scientific exploration of how the human mind could escape the limitations of space and time, and even interact with the universe in ways that defied conventional physics. The Gateway Process was developed at the Monroe Institute, an organization specializing in altered states of consciousness. It involved using specific sound frequencies, known as hemisync, to synchronize the brain's hemispheres. Why? Because when the brain reaches a certain state of coherence, something incredible happens. You begin to perceive reality differently. You gain access to non-physical dimensions of existence. You can even manipulate the fabric of reality itself. The report described how consciousness is not confined to the body or the brain, but is actually part of a much larger, interconnected field of energy. And here's the craziest part. The CIA didn't just study this for fun. They were interested in using these abilities for real-world applications, including remote viewing, psychic espionage, and even potential mind-over-matter experiments. The question is, if they were willing to invest time and money into researching this, what did they discover that they didn't want the public to know? That's exactly what we're about to uncover next. For most of human history, we've been taught that reality is made up of solid matter, that the physical world we see, touch, and interact with is the fundamental basis of existence. But what if that's completely false? The declassified CIA documents, along with breakthroughs in quantum physics, suggest that matter is not as real as we think. In fact, what we perceive as solid objects are actually just energy vibrating at different frequencies. This is not science fiction, it's backed by hard physics. Quantum experiments show that particles exist as waves of probability until observed. Matter is mostly empty space, held together by electromagnetic forces. Everything, your body, your thoughts, even time itself, is just vibrating energy. This means that reality is not objective. It's not something that exists independently outside of you. Instead, what you experience as real is actually being generated by your own mind, a process that the CIA's Gateway documents confirm. And here's where it gets even wilder. If everything is just energy vibrating at different frequencies, what happens when you learn how to control those frequencies? That's exactly why the CIA was so interested in studying consciousness itself, because the mind has the power to manipulate reality at the fundamental level. This is where things start to connect. If reality is an illusion, an energy field that responds to consciousness, then it means your thoughts, beliefs, and focus can literally alter your world. And this brings us to the next shocking discovery. The CIA's research revealed that human consciousness is not passive. It actually creates reality. Let's explore how. If the physical world is just energy, and energy responds to consciousness, then what does that mean for you? It means that your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions are shaping your reality. Right now, in ways you may not even realize. The CIA's Gateway Process documents revealed something astonishing. Consciousness is not confined to the brain. It extends beyond the body and interacts with the energetic field of reality. By focusing your mind in a certain way, you can literally change the world around you. This aligns perfectly with what modern neuroscience and quantum physics are discovering. Take, for example, the observer effect in quantum mechanics, which proves that particles behave differently when they are being observed. In other words, the act of observation itself alters reality. Your attention is not passive, it has power. What you focus on, you energize. Now think about this in the context of your life. What if the reason some people always struggle, while others seem to manifest success effortlessly, is because they are literally creating their own realities based on their dominant thoughts and beliefs? The CIA understood this, and this is exactly why they studied techniques to harness and direct consciousness with laser-like precision. One of the most powerful techniques they discovered was hemisync, a method for training the brain to enter deep states of awareness where thoughts can become reality faster than in ordinary waking life. Why? Because when your brain is in a heightened state of coherence, it's not just perceiving reality, it's actively shaping it. This leads to a disturbing question. If human consciousness is so powerful that it can influence reality, why isn't this common knowledge? The answer? Because those in power don't want you to know. And that brings us to the next major secret the CIA tried to keep hidden: the true potential of the human mind. If your mind can shape reality, then what happens when you learn to control it with precision? This question fascinated intelligence agencies for decades, and that's exactly why the CIA secretly funded psychic research projects, including the now infamous Stargate project, a top-secret program that trained operatives to use remote viewing to gather intelligence from anywhere in the world. Yes, you heard that right. The US government spent millions of dollars training people to psychically see locations, events, and even classified documents from thousands of miles away. And the results? Many participants demonstrated undeniable accuracy. They were able to describe hidden military bases, classified enemy operations, and even future events. Some were so precise that the government continued funding the program for over 2 decades. But here's where it gets even crazier. These experiments proved that consciousness is non-local, meaning it's not limited by space or distance. In other words, the human mind is capable of accessing information beyond the 5 senses, beyond the physical world, even beyond time itself. And if intelligence agencies were able to train operatives to use these abilities, what else is possible? Could this same power be used to influence outcomes in everyday life? To manifest success, wealth, or even alter events? The answer, according to both the CIA's documents and ancient spiritual teachings, is yes. But this raises another question. If the mind can transcend space, could it also transcend time? That's exactly what the next secret reveals. Time and space may not be real at all. We've been taught that time moves in a straight line, from past to present to future. But what if that's just an illusion? The CIA's Gateway Process documents suggest that time and space are not fixed, but rather fluid, interconnected dimensions of consciousness. This aligns with what Einstein's theory of relativity tells us. Time is not absolute. It bends and stretches based on speed and gravity. The past, present, and future may all exist simultaneously. Reality is more like a hologram than a physical place. Now here's where things get truly mind-bending. The CIA's research into altered states of consciousness revealed that trained subjects could access information from both the past and the future. Remote viewers reported seeing historical events unfold as if they were there. Some described future events with startling accuracy. Others claimed to communicate with intelligences beyond time itself. This suggests that time is not a fixed sequence, but a field we can move through if we know how. Ancient mystics and modern quantum physicists agree. Reality is like a movie film. Each frame already exists, but your consciousness moves through it. Change your focus, and you change the frame of reality you experience. Your future is not set in stone. It is influenced by your state of mind right now. This is why the CIA's research into consciousness was so crucial, because if people learned they could manipulate time and reality, the entire system of control would collapse. Which leads us to the next question. If this knowledge is so powerful, why was it hidden from the public? The answer is simple: control. In the next section, we'll expose why those in power never wanted you to know this truth. If the CIA knew that human consciousness could shape reality, if they knew that time and space were illusions, if they knew that your mind has the power to access information beyond the five senses, why wasn't this knowledge shared with the public? The answer is simple: control. Think about it. The entire structure of society is built on the belief that you are powerless. You must follow external authorities. Reality is something that happens to you, not something you create. But if people understood the truth, that their consciousness has the power to shape their lives and the world around them, the systems of control would crumble overnight. The government, corporations, and those in power thrive on keeping people in a state of fear, dependence, and limitation. This is why ancient spiritual teachings that empowered the individual have been distorted or suppressed. Scientific discoveries about the nature of reality have been buried or dismissed. Mainstream education never teaches you about the power of your own mind. The CIA's research was never about empowering the public. It was about gaining an advantage. Imagine if only a select few knew how to manipulate reality. Imagine if only those in power could harness the ability to manifest outcomes. Imagine if they used this knowledge to control mass consciousness itself. Sounds extreme? Consider this. Why do mainstream media and governments constantly push fear, division, and scarcity? Because fear lowers your vibration. It keeps you disconnected from your true power. The good news? Now that this knowledge is out in the open, you can reclaim it. In the next section, we'll uncover how you can apply this hidden knowledge in your own life and begin shaping your reality like never before. Now that you know the truth, that reality is not what it seems, that consciousness shapes the world, and that time is an illusion, the real question is, how do you use this knowledge? The CIA's gateway process wasn't just theoretical. It provided practical methods for harnessing the power of consciousness. Here are 3 powerful ways to begin applying this knowledge in your own life. 1. Master your state of consciousness. The CIA's research found that reality responds most powerfully when the brain enters deep, coherent states, like those induced by meditation or hemisync sound frequencies. Start with 15 minutes of daily meditation. Focus on deep breathing and awareness. Use binaural beats to synchronize brainwaves into altered states of consciousness. When your mind is quiet, you gain access to higher levels of awareness and intuition. 2. Use intentional visualization to reshape reality. One of the biggest secrets hidden in the gateway process is that your mind doesn't just perceive reality, it projects it. Each night before sleep, visualize yourself already living the reality you desire. Don't just see it, feel the emotions, the details, the certainty of it being real. The more vividly you can hold this mental image, the faster reality begins shifting to match it. This is the exact process that elite intelligence operatives were trained in, because it works. 3. Shift your beliefs, shift your reality. The most powerful limitation isn't the external world, it's your own beliefs. If you believe reality is rigid, it will be. If you believe in limitations, they will appear everywhere. But if you reprogram your subconscious to accept that you shape your reality, you begin to experience life in a completely new way. Try this. For the next 7 days, repeatedly affirm, reality is fluid. My consciousness directs my experience. I am the creator of my life. By practicing these techniques, you will begin to experience shifts in your reality. Now, let's go even deeper. Does modern science support these ideas? And are experts today rediscovering what the CIA already knew decades ago? Let's find out in the next section. For centuries, mystics and ancient traditions have spoken about the mind's ability to shape reality. But today, modern science is catching up, confirming what the CIA and other secret programs already knew. Let's look at the key scientific discoveries that prove consciousness is far more powerful than we've been led to believe. 1. The observer effect. Quantum physics proves reality responds to consciousness. One of the most groundbreaking experiments in physics is the double-slit experiment. When unobserved, particles exist as waves, pure potential. But the moment they are observed, they behave like solid matter. This means that consciousness is not just passive, it actively influences reality at the quantum level. Now imagine this applied to your life. If mere observation changes reality at the smallest level, what happens when you direct your focus with deep intention? 2. The placebo effect, the mind's power to heal the body. Medical science has repeatedly confirmed that belief alone can heal the body. In placebo-controlled studies, people given sugar pills, believing they were real medicine, often experience real physiological healing. This isn't just imagination. It's the body responding to consciousness and belief. If belief can change biology, imagine what it can do when applied to your entire life. 3. Non-local consciousness. The mind exists beyond the brain. Studies on remote viewing, near-death experiences, and psychic phenomena all point to one conclusion: consciousness is not confined to the brain. Remote viewing experiments, like those conducted by the CIA, proved that people can access information from faraway places. Near-death experiences suggest that awareness continues even when the brain is clinically dead. Scientists studying telepathy and precognition have found statistical evidence that the mind can access information beyond time and space. This supports what the Gateway process revealed. Consciousness is part of a vast, interconnected field of energy that transcends physical limits. If this is true, then reality is not something fixed. It is something you can learn to navigate, influence, and ultimately create. Now, let's take this to its ultimate conclusion. What does all of this mean for you, for your life? It means that you are more powerful than you've ever been told. For centuries, this knowledge was hidden. It was classified. It was dismissed as pseudoscience. But now, the truth is in your hands. Reality is not fixed. It is shaped by consciousness. Time and space are illusions. You can influence them. Your thoughts, beliefs, and focus literally construct your world. This is the knowledge that governments, secret societies, and intelligence agencies have studied for decades, because it is the key to true power, and now it belongs to you. So the real question is, what will you do with it? Will you continue living as though you are powerless? Or will you take back control, consciously shaping your life with intention, belief, and awareness? The choice is yours. If you're ready to tap into this hidden power, start now. Experiment with it, train your mind, expand your awareness. Because once you see the truth, there's no going back.